You are now
No,
tuned.
let me do it. You are now tuned in to the Saying What You Want podcast.
Hey, check it out, man. We are back with the Saying What You Want podcast, man. I'm Baby Gas.
And I'm Monique Meraz.
And today we got a special guest today with us, Damn Gina. How you doing?
I'm good.
And then you could just put the mic up to your mouth too, like whenever. Yeah, you could hold it too if it works better. Yeah,
Okay.
whatever's more comfortable for you. How you doing though?
I'm doing great.
Now, when people say your name, is it like a Damn Gina?
Exactly.
So they extend. Where did you say that you heard that from?
I thought it was from like a show with Martin Lawrence, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Is that where you got it from?
Actually, when I was young, everyone always used to call me Damn Gina. So because I was always out there, never was, I never acted like something I wasn't. This is just how I was. I was always out there.
Okay.
So when I started with modeling, I thought of like different names. I was like, oh, maybe I want to be Lilith or something seductive and sexy. And when it came out with Damn Gina, I was like, you know what? I always call me Damn Gina. So what? It just goes naturally. So I just stayed with it.
So you must have been outside if there was like, damn, Gina. So your name is Gina, and then the damn kind of came in there like.
No, actually, my name is JoJo. But
Okay.
I go by Damn Gina.
Okay, for sure. So that's your alias. That's what everybody.
Yeah.
That's what everybody knows you. And where you from originally?
From here.
Yeah. Okay. The IE area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for sure.
Yes.
We're first timers. Just FYI.
Okay.
We're first timers to the IE. We usually come to like the LA area and stuff like that. But I do always see like on the internet, people like don't consider IE LA. LA's not IE. IE's not LA.
Yeah, we had to learn that really fast.
Did you guys kind of go through that? Growing up, like people trying to compare the two.
You know what? Right here in this location, I've pretty much been around the surrounding area. I was raised in Chino Hills, and then now I'm in Corona. So,
Okay, for sure.
I don't know. I'm in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
Corona Norco. So.
How'd you get into the modeling?
It's kind of crazy. When I was 17, when I graduated high school, I wanted to be a makeup artist, and I went to makeup school. Well, there, I ended up meeting Calvin Klein models. So I started doing makeup on Calvin Klein models really early in life. And I always was like brought into it. It was kind of really funny.
So you did makeup?
I did makeup.
Okay.
And I always wanted to be in the scene, but I just didn't. I don't know.
Were you shy at the time?
No, I've never been shy in my life. Really, I never have. I've been serious. I've been serious to when I need to, but not really shy. No.
Now, what do you think? Just out of curiosity, where do you think you got all that confidence from? To like, there's a lot of models out there. We work with plenty from time to time, and there is some that are like very shy. Where did your confidence come from?
I'm a type of person that, like, I literally need to meditate and pray daily, like to feel centered. I need to feel in alignment on a daily basis, where I'm out of whack, like everywhere, like my house, my everything, my vehicle, my kids, everything. I have to have everything in alignment, and that's including within myself. Especially like my mental health, my growth, and my physical, my mental. I mean, everything to me, it has to be equal. And when I have that, I'm the most confident person. Nothing affects me. Like, yeah, you see all the messages and all the, whatever, like, comments. But at the end of the day, if I let that affect me, that's going to go on to my kids. That's going to go on to what I do on my daily basis. So I don't.
And we went through some of the comments, and your response to the haters, I'm like, you know what, that's spot on. And you had made a comment. You were like, I'm not for everybody.
I'm not.
And I'm like, you know what, period, because
I'm
that's
not.
that's true. If you don't like me, then don't be lurking on my page. Leave me alone.
I'm a lot. I am a lot sometimes, especially because I like to, especially when I go out, I like to kiss on my women. I love men in general, but I don't really like, there's not one that I'm like, oh my God, I need to have. I don't know why. I'm just not like that. Even with my girls, I'm just like, I have my good time and I go home. And when I'm at home, it's all about my my sage and my candles, my inner peace. It's like very different compared to when I'm out in the real world. In the real world.
I mean, because you technically in work mode. When you outside, you modeling, you doing your thing.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people You know, because everybody got a different career, right? But I feel like when people look at us, we doing podcasts, they look at models, they think we like this 24/7.
Yeah.
Like we eventually shut down the same way that a 9 to 5 clocks out.
Yes.
And then, you know, that we got a different side of ourselves when we're finally in our safe space.
Right.
So, and now, just out of curiosity, when you say you're a lot, relationship-wise, are you a toxica?
I can be.
Oh,
I can be. You know what? Before this, I was married for 17 years. And, I put that man through hell and back. Honestly, all his hair is gray.
Oh no.
Yeah, I have. I love that man to death. Still to this day, I love him with everything. I met him at 17 years old, and he still is there for me, 100%.
absolutely. That's loyalty.
And every person that has come into my life, that either if I'm going to date them or anything like that, I let them know, like, this man right here comes before you. And if you can't take that, I'm sorry, I'm not for you.
Period.
Yeah, so I'm very, like, my ex-husband knows how much I love him. And I know he always thinks, like, oh my God, no, but I really, really love him to the day I die.
Absolutely.
And do you think your relationship with him got better, like, when you guys got divorced versus when you were married?
I mean, our relationship, while married or divorced, honestly, I mean, it has its up and downs, like a normal relationship does, to be honest. So we went through a lot of different things for him to be where he's at and where I'm at. So, but I'm happy with where I'm at right now. To be honest,
Absolutely.
I'm living my dream.
That's a blessing in itself.
Yes, it is.
Have you ever bumped into somebody in a new relationship that's had insecurities or they were jealous of your relationship with your ex?
Oh yeah, there still are. They still are. Like, I'll still kiss my ex and be like, "You're mine till the day you die." Like, and I'll say that to anybody. I don't really care.
Okay.
So
That I respect. Now, do they ever feel jealous? Like, are you still fucking him?
I really don't care.
She's like, I
don't even think about it because I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care. I really don't care what other people think of me in the real world, because they do not know me. They do not know what I've been through in life. They do not know how I built the person I am today, and how I've been for a long time in my life. So for me, I really don't care what other people think of me.
Now, have you
I love
bumped
that.
into a new relationship where they're just like, hell yeah, it's good. I respect your relationship with your ex-husband.
Yeah, they say that to fuck at the end of the day, excuse my French, but
This ain't what you want podcast. We cuss all day.
Yeah.
This ain't the
I'm like
radio.
a sailor. So.
Yeah, this ain't the radio.
So at the end of the day, and I get very bored. I could be dating a guy for a minute, and I'm just like, damn, you're fired, okay. And they don't give me something I'm looking for, and I get turned off. And then they'll be calling. I'm like, wow, sorry.
It's over.
I lost interest, and I don't give second chances because I don't grow that way. So for me, it's like I learned what I had to. That was my stepping stone. Now it's time for me to move on to see what God has greater for me.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I love that.
So you be having to call. You obviously doing something to these men for them to be calling and calling. You know what I mean? Like, a man ain't just gonna keep calling unless he got his whole life turned upside down.
Damn, Gina, what are you doing to him?
Well, you hear it in the name. They're probably like, damn. I seen a clip of you, on Instagram. And, influencer, somebody asked you a question on the street, like, what you got, what's it take for you to be satisfied? And you're like, I got to feel that shit in my gut.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So have you ever had a guy that just came through and dicked you down to where you was calling?
You know what? For me, it was the aftermath that I got turned off. Because we could have been a power couple. We really could have. But at the end of the day, I don't chase. I attract.
No matter how good it is.
I don't care. No, I don't care. I mean, I've had a point where I've had 300 fucking toys at the end of the day. And in January, I threw them all away to start over a new year. To do my own thing. To just figure out, okay, what am I going to go, what's going to happen this year? I'm just excited to see where it's going.
And when you say toys, you talk about boy toys or you talk about toys for real?
Yeah, toys.
Toys, okay.
Masturbating toys.
Yep.
Yeah, like.
And you just start your collection from scratch?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. You
love
ain't sponsored by a toy company or
No,
nothing?
and I should
You
be.
need to be.
And I should be.
300 toys. That's like the adult Toys R Us or something.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Man, nah, that's good. And you know what? Like here on Saying What You Want podcast, what we do is like, we take guests that, people obviously see on social media. They have their own perspective because they're looking in from the outside. And we like to bring people on here to really just show us the real them, a different perspective, maybe a perspective of you that the audience has never really got to dive into. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're crazy. We all a little crazy.
am.
You know what I mean? But I think that everybody has that off and on switch, and everybody has a reason to why they are who they are today. And I think that here on Saying What You Want, that was one of the reasons why, when we have a mutual friend, for everybody wondering how we met, we have a mutual friend that was like, man, my girl will go crazy on y'all podcast. She don't care about nothing.
I don't.
And that's the type of people that we like to talk to. Cause
And I think more women need to hear that and stop caring what other people fucking think of you. That's a perfect example. And not only that, but I love that you share, when you go home, you have your sage, you meditate. I love that because just because what you see on my Instagram doesn't mean that you fucking know me.
Yeah, they don't. Because in my real world, I actually look at diesel tires on a daily basis, and I have to literally find out if they're flat spotted and regular wear. And I have these corporates that look up to me to check their fleet on a daily basis.
Oh, so you don't just do modeling.
No.
You do other jobs too.
I'm a DT fleet manager.
Okay.
I love that.
And I'm in charge of a lot of different diesel trucks. And I got to worry about those drivers going back home to their family.
Their
On a
families.
daily basis, 7 days a week.
Man, that's good, man, because I feel like anytime you see a model and the average person always thinks like, man, they ain't got no real skills or trade. They're just modeling.
I know how to change a big diesel tire.
Damn.
Fast.
I can't even change a regular tire.
Nah, hey, much respect to you on that. Now, a couple moments ago, you mentioned like kids. So you have kids.
I do have 2 kids.
Okay.
Yes.
Are they grown now or are they?
My babies are 8 and 10.
Okay, 8 and 10.
So they
And then how do you feel like, obviously we're doing the podcast. Our daughter's sitting right outside. She, on her little electronics doing her thing. Is there, we've interviewed and we've worked with certain models that's like not only just models but dancers, girls in the field. It seems like somebody always has a cutoff time. The moment my kids are a certain age, I'm gonna stop this. Is that in plan for you, or you feel like?
I'm gonna listen to God's timing.
Ooh.
I'm very open with what I do especially with my children, including my kids. My mom, my dad, my family knows everything I do. I don't hide anything. I would rather be an open book so that I'm like, oh my gosh, So my son knows like, oh my God, my mom's gonna go to do a naked shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
But you get a PS5 right there, brand new one, Pro, like.
The Pro.
The Pro.
Pro, not the regular version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't even played it. So he gets to play it at the end of the day, And I work really, really hard for everything I have for myself and my children. And also my ex-husband, we're great at co-parenting. So everything just goes hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I just decided to go back to school. So I'm in school Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So you're just doing it all right
Yeah.
now. I love that.
Absolutely, and much respect to you because I feel like, other people that are watching now too. I feel like, like I just got done saying, some people feel like, oh, I can't show my kids that this is what I do. I can't, I'm gonna go home. I'm a whole different person. Obviously, like I said, when we get out of work, it's off and on. But some people really hide their profession from their kids. And I think that's dope that you're kind of just open. I'm sure a lot of people would agree and a lot of people won't. But like you said, you don't give a fuck.
I don't.
You know what I mean? You worried about your life, making sure your kids are straight, your family's straight. Yes. And I think that's what's super important. That's tight. That's definitely tight. Yeah. Man, that's crazy. So with your ex-husband, your ex-husband is who you share kids with?
Yes.
Okay. So that's overall a support system for you. They know what you do. And, I have a 10-year-old. Are they boys?
I have a boy and a girl.
Okay. I have a 10-year-old boy. and he's all into the game and stuff, and he seems like he knows when I'm coming to an event, and he's probably like, "You gonna go do that? Can you buy me something new?" Is your kids like that? Like, Mom, I know what you about to go do. Can you bring me something back?
So my kids are very spoiled, and not only from me, but they are the first grandchildren on my, I'll just say my husband's side. At the end of the day, and my son has seen everything that a real man wishes he could see, like front row, box seats to like a WrestleMania and all the games that you can think of, basketball, football. Because my ex husband, his job gives him all of those, like what do they call it, incentives
Yeah.
Okay.
for what he does. So he literally gets to live his life already. It's like if he was famous. So like if we get him the little stuff, he like, wow, how come we couldn't get this? So my kids already know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, well, you gotta realize that's not the real world. Like you guys are spoiled. You gotta understand.
Absolutely.
But I also teach my children, like, and I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but at the end of the day, like I try to tell my kids, there are some kids that don't get to eat every day. There are some kids that don't have everything you have, and you need to be grateful for everything you have, no matter what. Like for instance, I'll get a scenario. My daughter hates when I do her hair, and I'm like, well, there's moms that don't do their daughter's hair.
I tell my daughter the same thing. She hates when I do her hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is the time we have every morning that I can do your hair, and I can
Absolutely.
make sure you look beautiful when you go to school. Because kids are ruthless; they don't care. You know what I mean? They're
They could
gonna
be very mean.
say mean things to them, and they talk about their hair, their weight, whatever the case
Yeah.
is. Just like these people that are on Instagram that
Yep.
think they know you. Like,
Yeah.
what are you looking at? Like, if they can't pick on my body, they're gonna pick on my teeth. Thank you. I'm actually saving so that I can get my teeth done.
Yeah.
I don't need your like. Oh my gosh, I know what I want to fix on myself. I know
Absolutely.
what I need to do. I don't need your say so of like, oh my gosh, you know. What
Yeah, I
I mean?
feel you on that. People. I just naturally got gaps.
I'm like, damn, am I sucking your dick? Am I sucking your pussy? Why do you care how my fucking teeth look?
Yeah.
Right.
I look.
Yeah.
That part. Why do you care?
Yeah.
People are definitely like that, because I see it in my comments sometimes too. I just naturally got gaps, so people will make comments about the shit. I'm like, my shit clean though, regardless. My shit clean and they straight. They just a little separated from each other. We good though,
It is what it is.
You know what J. Cole said, man, the cricket smile, it's all love, you know what I mean? It's the natural you at the end of the day. And like you said, shit, when the bag right, we gonna go and get right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just what it is. But just us being breadwinners and all that, of course, the family comes first, priorities come first. And it's dope. Like I said, regardless of what people might say, their opinions on it, you taking care of yours. And at the end of the day, that's
100%.
what's most important. So super hats off to you. I just want to know though, like again on a little bit on the crazy side, right? Because our podcast is saying what you want.
Okay.
If you won't say it, we will type shit. You know what I mean? I just want to know what's the craziest thing that you've done for somebody to be like, damn, Gina. Just off the rip, give us a crazy story.
The craziest thing I've ever done? I mean, it's all over my Instagram, really. Like, everything I do. A lot of times it's just me kissing my girls. You know what I mean? Licking all over them. Or, I'm not like, oh my God. Like, I'm not like, I mean, the things I do behind the doors, that ain't out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But sometimes when I drink, like, I get crazy. Like, the other day when I went out to that event for Hustle or whatever, I was like, shit, I was on a good one. My tits were out. People were putting their stickers everywhere, all over my ass, everything. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Live in the moment. You know what I mean? No one else is doing it. I don't give a shit. That's their body. This is my body. I'm going to do what I want.
Absolutely.
And I was having a good time. I know when I drink, I like to get naked. That's just how I am. We were born naked at the end of the day. So I like to be naked. If I
Just to
don't
be free.
that's what I love to do. So
when you drink, you get naked. So you sober than a motherfucker right now.
I have no liquor in me. No.
Yeah, okay. That's what's up.
I gotta ask though, what size cup are you?
Well, I know that I'm 1900 cc's, but my natural boobs were this big.
Wow.
Yeah, I have always had big breasts, always since I was little. But
I wish,
What
man.
you
I
said
wanted-
1900 cc's?
Mhm.
That's what you asked for, like when you go buy a bra?
no, I don't wear a bra. Can't you tell?
Oh,
They sit up nice. She don't need a bra.
really? Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that's new for me. Like as a guy, I don't even know how the bra sizes work. I know double D's and things like that, but I ain't know that it could get to a point where you're like, fuck a bra. A
Yeah.
bra won't even hold these motherfuckers
I
up
don't
right.
care for a bra, to be honest. I'm like,
See, and I'm a part of the itty bitty titty committee.
lucky.
So I still don't need a bra either because they don't sag or nothing. They're just small. They just
Yeah.
stay right there.
Perfection.
Absolutely.
But a girl could dream. But you know why I've never gotten my boobs done though?
What?
I am so scared to get put to sleep.
Oh, okay.
But like my dream would always be like a nice full C cup. But I guess a girl could just dream because I can't get put to sleep. I'm scared.
The way you be fucking sleeping every day. Shit, you'd have think you'd have having problem with that shit.
Shut up. I think it's like being put to sleep. You have no
Yes.
control over it. So that scares me.
Yes.
Now we seen on your Instagram, you got spider webs,
I do.
and what motivated that? Were you auditioning for the new Spider-Man movie?
The Spider-Man movie.
So I don't know how to explain this, but since I was young, I've always had this vision, and to me, I've always like faker the better. Like I just like the fake look, right? And so, and I always like tattoos. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start. I'm gonna just start tattooing myself everywhere and just doing what I need to do. But it ain't no joke. It's painful,
Yeah.
right?
I was gonna
And
ask
just
that
like,
next if it
"Ah,
hurt.
that shit hurts, and I'm like 8 beers in, and I'm just like, damn,
Whew.
this shit's getting more intense, more intense. Like when I got my ass done. When I got my ass done, I went to New York. My girl, she was out there, and the first day, I was like, oh, I cannot handle this. We went the second day, and she gave me like a whole bottle of that Casamigo Reposado.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had the whole thing. The only thing it did is put me to sleep, but I could still feel everything.
Oh, so it took multiple days to get
It
your
fucking-
titties tatted.
No, my ass.
Oh, your
The
ass.
tits, no. I got them done in one setting.
Shh.
Ooh.
Now, obviously, when we see them on Instagram, you usually have like stickies. You know what I mean, to cover up the nipple and shit. I'm assuming, Instagram reasons.
Yeah.
But the tattoo, are you tattooed on your actual nipple or is it just around? Like the areola?
No, just around.
Oh, just around.
Down and down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man. And
So
that
it's
and
like
that one hurt?
The web, and then it's a spider. It did. It did hurt, but you know it's kind of weird. I use any like breakup or anything like I went through with a friend or something, I use it to close that chapter and move on.
So you put your anger towards that.
Tattoo.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it just I don't know. It just eases everything, and you just like set it free. You
That's
know.
a good way to look at things right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
For all the people out there that's hesitant to get a regular tattoo, she done got her areolas tatted. It's a whole spider web, you know what I mean? And yeah, no, that's tight. I mean, it's something new. We've never seen something like that before.
Yeah.
So when we seen it on your Instagram, like, damn, she's a savage. She going crazy with the spider web thing. I thought it was like maybe the spider web symbolized something, or
No, no, I don't really have anything on me that symbolizes anything. There's this one right here that I had. I had an ex that he had this same tattoo, and I did that for closure, just to move on. You know what I mean, with my life. And the ones on my arm, I have some baby tigers, and those are my kids.
Absolutely.
Oh,
But
that's
other than that,
cute.
I'm obsessed with mermaids. I'm obsessed with tigers. I'm obsessed with Evil Eye. I'm obsessed with The Witch's Knot. I'm obsessed with anything that brings me tranquility, balance, centered in general. Like I'm obsessed with all of it. With crystals, with candles, with I'm just drawn to it.
Yeah.
I do it on a weekly, on a daily basis.
Now, when you get tatted in places, like you get your titties tatted, you get your ass tatted, is there a specific artist that you're comfortable with that you go to, or you just open like anybody could tat me up?
So when I first started getting tatted, there was one particular guy I was going to, and I was just sensing that he was going through something because he would like cancel my appointments like 3 times in a row, and I'm like, you know what, it's time for me to move on. Maybe God is trying to tell me, you know what, this is not the one for you. He did a few of mine, the ones on my arms, the ones on my thighs, and then I have a friend that has a tattoo artist, and he did my nipples. And I was like, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? And the same thing happened. I tried to do it, and he canceled on me 2 times. And I was like, you know what? Okay, it's time to move on. And then this last time, I have 2 friends that Tatted Fallon and his girlfriend. They actually go to my house and tap me.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm comfortable in my own setting.
Yeah.
Bring all my friends over.
Yeah.
And we can have a whole tattoo party at the end of the day. You
Love
know?
that.
Now, getting your titties tatted, having your titties so big, did they have to grab them to tat them up?
Of course.
Yeah.
They literally grab them and, like, you know.
Gotta get in there.
Yes. Yes. And then,
Yeah.
like, if the ink isn't taking, they fucking have to go even more. And it's like, literally, it hurt, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to get done?
Meaning.
Like any like surgeries, any like you want to go bigger on the boobs, anything else?
My boobs, I might go a little bit bigger only because I'm in my transition where I'm losing weight, like a lot of weight, and I still want to go like 15 more pounds, and I don't know how they're gonna look.
Okay.
So if I have to get them done, I'll get them redone. But surgery wise, probably not. If I could work with it, maybe. You know, I do like my faja work, I do my waist trainer work, and then I do a lot of my workouts, and I'm in the gym at least 5 days a week. So
Okay.
for me, I'm always training. It really puts balance to my life. it starts my day off right. It's just like
Right.
that.
Nah, for sure. Hey, but
So-
earlier you said like that's your natural boob size.
Yeah.
So you got work done to what? To just sit them up, or what was the work for if that was your natural size?
Okay, because my my areolas were bigger.
Oh, okay.
You know, I wanted them smaller.
Yep. Okay.
And then, you know, when you have big boobs, they just tend to like go this way. You know what I mean? They don't sit here. They go
Somehow they end up by
Okay,
your
yeah.
armpits and
And
shit.
it's like here. They were like they were just too big. And they might have even been bigger than this. So,
So it's like more like that shape to like have them more like in the front.
yeah.
Just to organize them.
Yes.
Yeah, organized.
Yes.
In other words, you know.
And
what I mean?
there's some beautiful models on Instagram, and I always see their boobs. I'm like, damn, how come I can't look like that? But at the end of the day, I just gotta be blessed for what I have.
Yeah.
You know? I don't have that shape. I don't have that, and I'm at the point in my life. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It is what it is. My body looks good. I feel good, and my mental health is right, and that's all that matters.
The funniest thing to me, man, is like, and I see it on Instagram all the time, is like women when they're sleeping, like they just never know where their titty gonna go. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you
Like,
wake up.
I always-
Oh, I'm hoping it just goes in a mouth so it can get some penetration. I'm just saying.
Hey, it's funny because I see memes of like when I go to sleep in just a tank top and here's my titty and it's like a dude peeking. You know what I mean? Like you don't know if it's gonna end up over here.
That's funny.
Man, it's girl problems. You know we can't relate, but you know it's just funny as fuck to hear it. You know from a woman's perspective and shit. Nah, that's tight, man. That's definitely dope. Man, real quick though, I have to just pull up. I was on Instagram and
Yeah.
I told you this off camera. I was like, man, I was you know going through your comments
Oh God.
and you know some of the people that are in your comments.
Which one? Because there's a lot of different viral videos of me that I haven't even put on my page.
No, they were on your page, right? We're not gonna
okay.
necessarily share the video, but I just want to like share some of the comments that people leave you, and I find that
Okay.
shit hilarious because like
Yeah.
some of you motherfuckers
Y'all
are
are
horny.
thirsty.
Y'all be horny in these comments, and I just wanna
Like,
read.
damn, you should have DM that, not comment that. What's going on?
Hold on. I gotta let
It's
me
okay. Keep it in the comments. I don't need it in the DMs.
let me
She's
see.
like, no, those are flooded already.
Yeah, where was somebody said, "Oh, baby, that's not your role. Let me get hands inside there and just want to keep you and want to make you moaning and screaming so high."
Screaming so
What the
high.
hell? How come I never read that? Where's that at? Send that to me. I would have replied.
Somebody was like, somebody was on, "Baby, you are looking so beautiful, but in this particular post, you ain't showing no face." So,
So I was like, so my body's beautiful to you?
all right, one more. Somebody said, Need some help there, boo boo. I want some B-Day cake.
What the hell?
You motherfuckers are freaky.
Yeah.
Got some freaky people in damn Gina's comments right here. And, just for the record, like I said, I seen a couple people that I personally know. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we saw you,
y'all
and we
ain't-
read those comments.
You ain't slick. You ain't slick. Damn Gina got them all out, risking their marriages and all types of
Risking
shit.
it all.
Yikes.
Damn. You ever took somebody, man?
And I'm not a homewrecker.
Respect.
See, y'all hear that?
I'm not a homewrecker.
Respect.
No.
That's good, man. Look, I like that shit because people automatically think, hey, she's out there, like she's down to fucking ruin this household if it come down to it.
No. I truly feel that God has someone for me at the end of the day. And I'm not saying that I'm not in no rush. Because right now, like I said, I'm living my dream. Like I got this big opportunity that just came into my hands, and I'm just ready to travel. And it's called Buns and Basketball. Have you guys heard of it?
Nah.
No.
What you got? Is it the girls that be playing basketball and like little booty shorts?
Yes. Well, I don't know if it's the same one, but it's somebody that he has a lot to offer, and I just can't wait to, see what the
So
team
you're gonna be hooping.
I can't wait. I honestly, I'm very active, and I love all sports, so I just can't wait. To be
I
honest.
love that.
And they know
even-
it.
I'm gonna be looking out for that. I
Even-
want to see.
Even if I don't have to have nails, I don't care. It is what it is.
They know what they doing. It ain't gonna be just the basketball bouncing and that shit.
No, we're gonna be in thongs playing basketball.
Let me send us an invite.
Yeah.
Send us
We
an
need
invite.
to come check that game out.
When you got some details on this event, let us know. We'll come do some media over there and check it out. That sounds exciting. Now, obviously, like I said, we've seen your content. First of all, you do a lot of dope car shows, a lot of big car shows too. Respect on that. Now, I have to ask though, considering how open you are, you don't give a fuck. You're out there. Have you ever thought of doing like OnlyFans or like porn?
So that is a very good question, to be honest. I actually thought about doing porn, to be honest, because I am so out there that, and when you're not finding your other half, it's like, what can I do? You know what I mean? And I really thought about it. Even now, I thought maybe I should go do porn, because one, I love to fuck. At the end of the day, I do love to fuck. I'm a very sexual person, and everything that I have, even gave any type of day to, it's just not for me. You know what I mean? It's just not. It's not 100% of what I'm looking for. And I thought about it, even with OnlyFans too. But the only thing about the OnlyFans is that they take a percentage, of course.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just give not my number, but give a spare number, and then just send them whatever they need. And
Okay, like a direct to consumer.
Yeah.
and that's what I do. Right?
That's tight. That's
Yeah.
smart. That's smart.
I do like Apple Pay, or that's it. I don't even like to take Cash App or any Venmo or nothing. I don't do any of that.
If you did do porn, what category you think you'd fit in?
Anal. It's
Anal?
my favorite position.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I like to suck dick. I'm not gonna lie. I do. I like it all. I don't have a favorite. I don't. A lot of times the guys they can't last. It's weird. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know if it's the food they're eating or what the food that we eat at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like,
And you talk about they can't last like when you sucking dick or just fucking in general?
in general, like, it doesn't matter if it's sucking dick or fucking. It don't matter. They just don't. It's like, they don't last.
What do you feel like is your like projected time that, come on, like at least give me this much of time so I could be satisfied?
Shoot, my ex-husband used to fuck me for like an hour at least, and these motherfuckers last like maybe like what, 5-7 minutes, if
Damn.
tops.
Damn.
God damn.
Yes.
It's a big ass
Fuck
difference.
me.
Yeah.
Weird.
So with the anal, like, when did you you were just like, I want to try that, or like when were you like, I need to try this?
I've always been like a sexual person, and like when I had my partner, like I liked it all. I don't have like a certain one I like more, to be honest. I like everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like the one thing
And-
that scares me.
And I love to satisfy my person.
Yeah.
Whether it's a man or woman, I love to satisfy my person.
Now, did you go full flesh though, or did you start with like thumb in the butt type shit?
Uh, no. Did fingers first, and then afterwards it was anal, and then it's like just barely penetrate, and then when it's fully in there and you guys have that groove together, it's the best feeling in the world. Like
Okay, so
for
you
me.
still have to like ease into it. You can't just like full on.
Even now you still have to ease into it. You don't
Oh,
want
okay.
to rip your rectum.
Nah, for sure.
Right.
It has to be. There has to be a feeling. I can't just go. Oh, let's just fuck. You know what I mean? Unless you're with your person, okay, let's do a quickie. Then
Yeah.
Right.
Now, full transparency though, I hear it all the time. I don't know if it's just rumors, but I've heard it time and time again. They say when you do anal too much, like that you can't control like your shit or something. Is that a myth?
I don't have that problem, but I don't know.
You know,
Okay.
I just hear it. So I mean,
I've heard some stories.
yeah.
You know, I've heard some stories like the girl was on the white couch and she just got done doing some anal fucking, and she literally shit on the couch.
Oh shit.
Well, I never
damn.
heard of.
Oh shit.
Well,
Yeah.
that was right there and
Literally,
then.
oh shit.
Yeah, literally she shit. Yeah.
God. That
Haven't-
that can't. I mean, me personally, like that should have scared me. Hey, you got to get out.
Oh, you ain't trying to do anal, are you?
Get out.
Nah,
I'd be too scared. I can't. I'm like, nope. That's just not for me.
not
But
the white couch.
I'm bisexual too, so I'm the type to where like, if I know I cannot do something sexually, like I have no problem. You want to bring another girl in the bedroom that is down to do it? Let's bring her because I can't do it.
Right.
I like white everything though in my house though. I can't afford no shit on my white sheets. I'm gonna keep it real. You telling me this story about old girl?
He still can't get over
You
it.
gotta replace that fucking couch. The fuck, damn.
That's hilarious.
And I just wonder, like, did she feel embarrassed? Was she like regular? Like, man, this shit was
No,
gonna
how
happen.
would you feel? I would be embarrassed.
It
Like,
happened
oh my
so
God.
fast that I just seen her put like her jacket on her bottom and she just left.
Oh,
And
you was there.
She
Yeah.
left the shit and all. Didn't even like pick up her own
shit
shit.
was on the couch. Yeah.
Girl, that's out of pocket. You should have at least picked up your own shit.
You better keep a roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
From now moving forward, don't ever do no shit like that again.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Now that's damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a damn factor right there. Yeah, damn, that's crazy. But like I said, to each his own. One time we were doing a shoot, in the LA area, and we happened to just rent it. I think it was Airbnb or Pure Space, right? And it was a fucking dope ass crib. We were shooting a music video, and when we popped up, we realized that we had just rented a fucking dominatrix house.
Oh shit.
It was so
Man,
dope though.
I'm talking about like
Whips
we
and chains and gag balls.
fuck,
And
I thought it was a setup. I thought it was a setup for real. Like, we go into the kitchen, and then on the kitchen, like, it was like this person's actual home. So like, she had pictures on the fridge, and I'm like, hold on, look like Catwoman. Like I'm thinking she just playing dress up. And then we went to her room, and man, it was real. It was
Yeah.
it was definitely real. And I'm like, oh shit, this some next level shit. Of course, we ain't used the scene where all the crazy shit was. She had a dope ass living room and a dope ass house in general. But I'm like, fuck. So I mean, to each his own. Some motherfuckers like getting whipped. Some
do.
dudes like being slapped around and treated like bitches. Everybody got their own kinks. You know what I mean? We
You
don't.
guys ever been to Bar Sinister out in Hollywood?
No, what's that?
No.
Yeah, it's a goth club that they do that upstairs. You can't record or anything, but yeah.
You been there?
That's one of my favorite places to go.
Wait, and what you mean? Like they do dominatrix upstairs?
Well, they'll squeeze your nipples and they'll whip you, and you could be one of the ones that could be whipped, if you really want to.
And what you do?
I've been whipped before in there one time.
They squeeze your nipple?
No, I didn't get my nipple.
And how does that feel?
The nipple pincher.
Like-
Well, you know what? When you're drinking and you might, you have someone sexy there with you, it's a big ass turn on at the end of the day, And then they kind of get to see you before you do any of the deeds. So
See, I'm like a little like baby step. Like I like to be choked. I love collars. I love collars. And I like when he like tugs on the collar. That's like my shit right
I
there.
don't think we've bumped into a sturdy enough collar though.
Yeah, they always break. They always snap, and we be cashing out on them.
Lucky
And I'm
you.
like, they
Somehow,
just do not work.
yeah, somehow they always end up fucking busting. But
We'll go to Sultry Vixen.
what's that?
It's a store down the street. They sell collars. They have every kind.
Damn,
We're
see,
gonna have to go check one out
You-
because
you guys got all the cool stuff out here in SoCal.
yeah,
Like for real, I come down here and I'm like, we ain't got none of this in the Bay Area.
That's where you are in the Bay?
Yeah, that's what we are. We're Bay Area based. We're down here for the week. We're doing a lot of podcasts, a lot of content. We do a lot of skits. That's one of the things that people like really know us for. TikTok, Instagram. I'm an artist first though. You know what I mean? So I came up doing music. Originally from East Oakland, and when I got with my wife, it was just something like I had my own career, but it's nothing like starting something from the ground up with your person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
I
like
agree.
and like you said earlier, like just being that power couple. And instead of like it just being me that has to leave the house all the time, now it's us. Now
Yes.
we get invited. It isn't just Gas plus one, it's Gas and Monique.
I love
You know what I
that.
mean? So that's
love that.
definitely a blessing in itself.
And you also let her get, be herself.
Yeah.
Too, and let her.
that is
Speak her mind.
huge
Yeah.
because a lot of people assume like he got me into the polygamy, and it was actually the opposite because I am bisexual, and I asked him, how he felt about it, and he was down for it, and like you said, I like that I can be myself. I like that we can go to the sex store, and I'm like, at first I was kind of shy, but I'm like, I want to try the collar, and he was down for it, and I fucking love that because I feel like some people are too shy or to communicate what they want sexually, not even knowing like maybe your partner is down for that, and maybe they will satisfy you with that.
Well, I think that at the end of the day, our podcast is mainly for the mature audience, obviously. When we come to do episodes, we do a lot of side missions. We do
Yeah.
we do sports coverage and a lot of these other stuff. But when it comes to our podcast, this is for the grown folks. We actually do a lot of live shows.
Okay.
So now we've actually started doing live shows where people can actually come and pay, buy a ticket to come watch us do our thing live. We have a lot of
Nice.
special guests. Hopefully we get to, during our stay this week, hopefully we get to find a location in the LA area for us to do one in Los Angeles. Because for some reason, they happen to be top 5 in our cities that are interacting with us right now. So hopefully we could give SoCal a dope live show that people could come watch us in person. But the whole point is like, we have a lot of couples that come out. We try to really like shed light on stuff that you shouldn't be embarrassed about.
Right.
Right? Just how we're talking so openly right here. Are we grown at the end of the fucking day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just did a live show recently in Sacramento, actually, sold out. Super blessed. Thank you guys. But we had called a couple couples up there, and one of the questions was, what's your partner's favorite sex position? And there was a certain couple that went up there and they fucking froze.
Yeah.
And they looked at each other. They looked at us.
They didn't know.
I don't know if it was they didn't know or they were too shy, but I think it was that they didn't know because the dude responded just regular, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what the
People in the crowd were like, "What's regular?"
everybody's invested. We want to know, and just like you just said, maybe if you didn't know, right, it wasn't to put you on the spot or embarrass anybody, but
Right.
hopefully on the way home, you guys communicated that between amongst each other.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I actually
Build
didn't
that
know.
relationship.
I didn't know what is your favorite position. Because you get you with somebody 10 years, 15 years, 17 years, and you don't know where they like to get hit at. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
You gonna end up getting cheated on.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. I try to shed light on things like that. And I think open relationships when it comes to communication is the reason why a lot of people do last. Hey, my partner like this shit. Hey, my girl like women. Not to say that I'm a complain if she trying to have a threesome, you know what I mean? But I think at the same time, when she first came up to me the first time, it wasn't like, hey, you want to do polygamy? She already had a girl in mind, and she was like, what you think about her? And I'm like, hold on, is this a fucking setup? I don't think shit about her. What you talk about, babe? And I'm like, why, you like her, huh? She's like, yeah. And when that came, I'm like, okay, this
love that.
is who I'm with. She like women. And if she likes women, I'm not going to make it seem like you got to be with just me your whole life. Nah, I like women too. Shit, we like bad bitches together. Come on,
Yeah.
let's make it happen. And I think that a lot of people, and we talk about this off camera. A lot of people were in disagreement of that. Oh, you share your fucking man. You're
Oh
stupid.
yeah, I've got called
Or
so many things. You're stupid. He's gonna leave you. And like you said, I don't give a fuck what you think because I'm satisfied sexually over here. You probably not.
Exactly.
and I don't give a fuck either. Keep bringing them. Run that shit the fuck up. You know what I mean? This is nah, for sure.
I think when it comes to that, though, I think your guys' foundation, you guys built your foundation, you guys have your trust. And if you guys can do that in your relationship, you guys are fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Especially if that person can bring even more. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yes.
Especially sexually, because as you get older, that shit stops working for guys. That shit stops working for girls. And it's like, what else can I do? And then that's why they have all this stuff like to make your pussy wet and all that stuff because
Yeah.
all these women are really having those issues.
Wait. What they got to make your pussy wet?
They
got,
got
like,
a lot of
ointments and
stuff.
shit?
They have ointments. They have pills you can put up in there. Different
Really?
things, yes, to make it more juicy. For if the guy's going down on her, the girl's going down, everything. Yeah, they have a lot of things coming up. Like they're all
Damn.
over.
So
That's why.
for all the people out there wondering if you having that trouble, a lot of these things, like I say, it can be embarrassing to a lot of people. You ain't got to put yourself on blast,
Right.
But you hearing it now. There is stores that you could go to and get whatever little issues fixed.
They have it. You could just buy it online, and you could just send it to your home.
So you ain't even got to show your face at
Yeah.
the store.
Yeah,
'cause there's a lot of
see?
people that a lot of people with different careers that don't want to be out there in the open, of course.
We
But
just saw Gas at the sex store buying ointment. You know what I mean?
See, that I don't give a fuck about. I love going to the sex store with him. Like, I like picking out outfits. Like, it could be a nice time. So I do recommend that for couples. Go to the sex store. Go look at the toys. I mean, they got a fucking sex swing. So, like,
Yeah.
come on now.
What's next for you right now? I know you're big on God's timing. Do you have any plans though?
to be honest, right now, I'm gonna see where this buns and boobs and buns basketball and games goes and see where that takes me. And like I said, I'm in the tire industry. So I'm actually very fortunate because my parents have had a corporation for over 15 years, and I'm responsible for it. So I'm planning to buy my own equipment and add to the company. And in the end, I know that my dad and my mom, they want to retire in the next 5 years. So I'm planning to do what I need to do to make sure that the company is where it needs to be and hopefully be the most wealthiest woman that could possibly be.
Fucking shoot for the
I
stars.
I can't even say hopefully because I could see the outcome. I could see everything. It's just gonna take a lot of work and drive, ambition, and goals, and I can't have anything that's gonna stop me.
Absolutely.
So
No, that's big. That's major.
Yeah.
And I just gotta ask, what's your ethnicity?
my dad is Asian and black, and my mom, she's Indian and Mexican.
Okay.
So
you mix. You a whole
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, you a whole lot of things.
yeah, everyone always asks me. I'm like, I don't know. I'm a mutt.
Yeah. And obviously your parents are supportive. You got a good relationship with them. I think we see this all the time. Like some people be like, I don't tell my parents what I do. Even the people that don't do modeling and outside shit, right?
My mom is in my phone. She's me my queen because I literally live for my mom. I love my mom to death. So
That's
yeah.
tight.
I love that you have that support too. Because, like he said, some people have to hide their way of being. They don't want their families to find out. So I love that you have that support. That's beautiful.
Yes, I'm very blessed.
Yeah, nah, for
Very.
sure. And the reason I asked that is because like I've seen people who were like, I'm from Oakland, so one of our porn stars is Pinky.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
I fucking love her.
Yeah. So I remember like back then.
I didn't even know she was I didn't know she was a porn star. You're talking about the one that's all over Instagram right now, Little Pinky?
Nah. She black with pink hair?
No.
No.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking about old school. We're talking about magazine.
Like where Cherokee. Cherokee the porn star.
No, I don't.
Yeah, she's fire.
Cherokee?
Cherokee. her name is
Nah.
Cherokee.
See, that was in. I'm not going. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, my porn era when I was a teen was fucking Mia Khalifa.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So, that wasn't really my era. Pinky was a little like before my time. But, from my understanding, she was on like, video and magazines and shit like that. And, if I recall correctly, there was a time where she was like, I think her dad was locked up or something and came across her fucking magazine or her porn, you know, you know what I mean? So
Damn.
she was like, and I mean, I think her relationship good with her dad. Some people just accept the fact, man, this is what my daughter do. And we all fucking grown at the end of the day. You
Yeah, I
can't
was
really
gonna say
control
that.
what your kids do.
Right.
We got 18 years to guide our kids in the right way, teach them certain morals. And
But they still have to be their own person. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So I mean, shit. If somebody wants to be a porn star, they want to fucking be a porn
And
star.
the reason I asked your ethnicity, right, is because I know certain, certain people are like super old school. Like we're Hispanic, you know what I mean? Well, my girl's Creole and
I speak
Salvadorian.
no Spanish, just to let you know.
No Spanish.
No Spanish.
Yeah, see,
I don't speak a lick of it.
how we grew up was super old school to the fact where like our parents, at least on my side, my mom don't really even know what a podcast is. She's super Salvadorian with it.
Okay.
So when she's like, "What are you doing?" Like, "Oh, I'm filming right now." Filming what? Like I'm working. I'm fucking working. Hold the fuck. I'm working. You know what I mean? And she's in the medical field, so in her little fucking heart, she feels like her job is the job, a real job.
Yes.
And what we do is kind of like, y'all having fun.
Yes.
So
Which you are.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We are.
And living the dream.
But we ain't gonna act like the shit's fucking not stressful, right? Making sure that we're on time, make sure we're traveling. Hey, we're fucking recording a podcast. We done did podcasts where we're doing dope episodes an hour long, and we check the camera and the shit fucking fucked up.
Yeah.
There's no footage. Or there's no audio. Certain things that can bring a real stress to our line of work.
Okay.
We were doing a sports coverage in Oakland, and then we left the event and hopped straight on the freeway and came down to Socal, at like fucking 11 in the night.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some tolls that people don't realize. They feel like the grass is greener on this side.
It's the same thing with modeling.
Yeah.
They don't understand, like, when you put those 8-inch heels on and you're standing there for hours while these men and women are taking pictures of you, and you're, like, trying to hold your stomach in and trying to get every angle.
Right. Trying to be all the way put together.
It's a lot of strain on your body. Like, it takes me 2 days to recoup after. So then when I see these messages, especially when I told that photographer, I was like, I'm not happy with those pictures. Can we move on?
Yeah.
And they're posting things that were like a couple years ago at the end of the day, because I don't know why they do that. They just like, oh, you know what? I'm going to put down Gina. I haven't put her on my page. Let me just put old pics. They don't even
Right.
look like me anymore, but okay,
Yeah.
whatever,
Absolutely.
Got like over 13,000 views on it.
Do you ever feel like have you ever been in a situation where you weren't in the mood for a picture?
No, I'm always ready to shine.
Okay, so
I'm always ready to fuck the camera. That's just how I am. That's why I should have been a fucking porno star.
yeah.
To be honest.
So nobody could catch you like in a bad mood where you're just like not right now.
You know what? If I'm not centered, I'm not gonna go.
Okay.
I won't, because I have to leave my house. Like, for instance, I had a midterm due yesterday, right? And I had to work, and I had to work the following day, and I had to work the following day, and I knew Wednesday I had to go to Disneyland with my kids and my ex-husband, and all this stuff, and I was like, okay, come on, Joe, you got this, and I did everything, and I was like, of course I want to go out and have some drinks and go party with my girls, or go out and have fun, but at the end of the day, the reward for me is better not going.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that means I got to clean my house fully, shampoo my carpet, sweep, mop, everything, play with my puppy, and I was happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's that's tight
so it's
because
balance.
I have the same issue. Like I'm super OCD with how I start my day,
Mm-hmm.
and if I start it out of routine, I won't leave the house the same. So like I'm the same way. Like I gotta know what I'm
And
wearing.
it's serious. It's so serious.
Yeah.
Like you can have like a little like meltdown if it's not proper, you
Yeah,
know?
sometimes like I wake up, right? Like I wake up, my
People
clothes
don't understand it.
they don't.
They don't.
They don't. And shit, sometimes I don't even understand it, right? Cuz there's days where like I wake up, I'm trying to do my routine and I get a phone call. So now I got to answer this phone call and they done fucked up my whole routine. I promise you that day will not be as productive as if I would have just followed my line of work. That's just I don't know. Some people might look at it weird, but it's just my routine. It's the way that I get down.
Right. This is what I told myself this week because my garage needs work. I need to. It's not that it's messy or anything. It's just I want it to be perfect. You know what I mean? So that I could put a car in there and be done, right? And then my kid's room, I put like some boxes and stuff like that in there, right? And I need it. So this week I'm not going to answer anybody's calls or messages or anything unless it's going to bring a benefit at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If not, then it's not important. I need to do what I need to do. And that's what I told myself this week.
Oh yeah.
Because
Now to
that's
add
the only thing I can
to
do.
add to what you got going on, right? How do people find where to contact you for some direct contact?
My Instagram.
Your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So for all the fellas out there, you know what I mean? Go check out her Instagram. It's a lot different than what you're seeing right now. She came fitted today, you know what I mean? But if you are somebody that wants to come through and grab some content, some direct content straight from damn Gina,
Be Apple Pay ready.
you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't do nothing for free. Okay?
Digital currency. You take no Bitcoin, no crypto?
I don't do Bitcoin.
No, okay, no crypto yet. That's the wave though. You know what I mean?
I've heard.
Yeah, you might have somebody from India or
Oh, wow.
overseas that
Yeah.
might want to send some crypto, for some pictures or videos or whatever it is. I would recommend looking into that. It's the universal currency right there, and
Okay.
it's non-traceable. For all the men out there might be married, know damn well he shouldn't be spending no money from his account, because wifey go and check the transactions. You know what I mean?
You never know. Let it, just let it sit there and just watch over the days how it could go up. It will fluctuate, go up and down. But I mean, if you just have something sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. So if you just let the people know your Instagram.
Okay. My Instagram is damn Gina. That's DAMNGINA _ JoJo. No, 2369 _ JoJo.
And we'll make sure to put it on the screen,
Yeah.
of course, so you guys can find it.
Well, because I have 3, so I'm like, I don't remember.
Okay, you got But I think the one that you had that they gave me, it looks like one of your main ones. It seems like you're pretty active on there.
Yes.
Seems like you got a lot of good interactions, as we saw.
Yeah.
From the comments. But yeah, no, we just want to say, first and foremost, thank you for coming out.
Yes, and thank you for being so open with us. I love that.
We had to. People, of course we got a mutual friend, but, words to the grapevine, there was like, she one of the most controversial models out here with, what she do. You know what I mean? She got haters left and right, from consumers to other models that be hating on what you do. And I think that that's one of the things that make us want to have a certain person on here is like, man, let's get to know this person, man. Why everybody hating so much?
Stop being a hater.
I don't know why.
And it seems like you're doing your thing, so continue doing your thing. Yeah, we appreciate it. So we'll wrap it up right here. Once again, I'm Baby Gas.
And I'm Monique Meraz.
And this is the Saying What You Want podcast. Let's go.